Yeah, and that really lends itself well to this first tip. And what you're saying is it's this balancing act of you want to make them self-sufficient, but you also need to set them up for success so that they're able to get there. So I think it's really a good opportunity for you guys to kind of share more of what you have done for speakers to help them be self-sufficient. I know, Sarah, you mentioned this speaker hub you built out. So if you wanted to kind of elaborate on that, how you approached it and how it helped save you time.
Yeah, we have a speaker hub for each of our events. It's on our main website. You can hover under, I think, program or education and find it. And it is a great, tool to use because you have everything the speaker could ever want or need right there. So, for example, we have the speaker agreement. Click here, it takes you directly to it. You submit it. Some of our speakers for Hydra Vision do a technical paper, and there's like crazy guidelines for that, this font, and it has those guidelines. Or if I'm presenting a poster, this is exactly what you need to do. It also has some FAQs, it has deadlines, and I just really like to point people to that because, instead of sending emails, tons of emails with super long, I can just say, hey, you can find out how to complete these tasks on the speaker hub. And I think I just try to make it as, easy as possible. Here's your 6 steps and you can do those here. And I think that's super important. So we do that. And I think it works really well.
Yeah. And building on that a little bit too is, I think being strategic of like when you're giving them the information, like they don't need necessarily everything all at once, or don't expect them necessarily to review everything all at once. Perhaps they will. Always give them that option, but also like be super dependent on like your communication cadence. Like, okay, we've engaged you. What does that look like over the next 4 to 6 months as we approach this event? And like, when are we going to intentionally and like thoughtfully reach out to you instead of, blasting you with a ton of information and expecting you to retain that? Like, your partner is in it trying to execute this. And so, you kind of have to approach the deadline and approach the goals together.
Yeah, absolutely. And just some quick tips for anyone who's trying to figure out how to approach this process. I think the best place to start is to really put yourself in the shoes of the speaker, as Jonathan and Sarah are saying. Go through the platform yourself, see where you're getting stuck or might have questions, and then you can develop some sort of content that supports that. I think FAQs work great, but even don't underestimate like a quick little self-recorded video that can save you hours just pointing and clicking. And I think it's, you might have to invest a few hours up front, but the amount of time you'll save in having to troubleshoot all of these individual questions that really can be solved by a short video, I think will pay off in the long run. And that's what we've really heard across the board from a lot of folks. So definitely cannot emphasize that enough for you all if you're looking for something simple to implement in your process.